Okay, comedian actor Paul Reiser will be stopping into town this weekend, and Pat McMahon talked with him about his upcoming show at CB Live.
I love to be able to say about theatrical people, performers in any capacity, they've done it all, because it means they're going to be even more fun to talk to. And when I found out that it was going to be Paul Reiser that's our guest, well, I knew he was going to be fun to talk to. Paul, listen, I thank you so much. Welcome technically on video to Phoenix, but we're going to be welcoming you this weekend to a club in performance on stage. Nonetheless, welcome, Paul Reiser.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to all of that, all of the above.
Paul, listen, with the career that you've had over all of these years doing so many different things, I have wanted to ask you, as a big fan of the show, do people stop you on the street and say, Paul Reiser, I'm mad about you? Do you get that?
They do, and I very graciously pretend it's the first time I've heard it every time. I've gotten very good at that. It's funny, when the first job I ever had was the movie Diner, and all my friends would send me diner paraphernalia, little diner toys and diner books and diner things. And I once said something that I said, geez, a lot of diner stuff. And one of my friends says, just be glad your movie wasn't called Dog Poo. I went, okay. Yeah. So bad about you is not the worst thing to say, is what I'm saying.
Well, and actor, writer, musician, the variety. Have you found in doing so many things, though, that they are all equally fulfilling creatively, or does one kind of go to the top?
You know, they are all they are, I don't know about equally, they're all fulfilling and great fun. And I've had such great fortune in the last couple of years getting to be on some shows that I wouldn't have imagined, you know, from Stranger Things, which is not really my world, but it's such a great show, and Kaminsky Method, which is definitely my world. You know, it's about guys getting old. I went, yeah, I can do that. But my first love has always been stand-up, which is why it's so fun to get out there. And the funny thing is, I started as a stand-up. That's all I wanted to do. The acting was maybe in the background. I maybe it's a possibility, but it certainly wasn't the plan. So I was planning to just be a stand-up and to hopefully make a mark that way. And I got happily distracted and busy. And then when Mad About You started, which was 1,000 years ago, 1992, I got busy with that. And then afterwards, I kept kicking it down the road, and I hadn't gotten back to stand-up. So it's so funny now. I'll go out, people say, oh, I didn't know you did stand-up. I went, well, I guess that's fair. I hadn't been out there for so long. But, and now I was just getting going again. And then, I don't know if you heard, we had this pandemic for the last 2 years.
There was a rumor, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if they had it in Arizona. But anyway, so I hadn't gone out until just recently. It was the first time I gone out in 2 years. And so I said, well, let's go back to clubs. And just, to me, that's where I started. And it's always a little more fun even than a theater, because there's something in the air in a comedy club. It's a little looser. The audience knows how to be a comedy audience. So I'm looking forward to 3 shows this weekend, and it should be great fun.
Well, as I hear the voices around Arizona right now saying, wait, hold it. Not only did I not know that Paul Reiser did stand-up, I didn't know he was going to do it here. How about if I give you the information?
Do that.
It's the Copper Blues Live Desert Ridge, and that's a club at 2101. That's 21001 North Tatum Boulevard. Look, get on Tatum, go north, and if you see a whole bunch of people standing by waiting to get into the club, that's where Paul Reiser is going to be. Saturday for 2 shows and Sunday for 1.
One show, yeah.
This weekend. By the way, it is categorized, listen to this, as 3 special event improv comedy shows. Is that the same as stand-up?
I don't know where they got the word improv, because that implies that people are going to go, you're on a boat in Spain, and then I have to do 20 minutes on that.
And it's another
always,
comedy club.
There is an improv comedy club. I don't, I don't know all the politics of the clubs. I don't think this is an improv club. Maybe it is. Who knows? I just know most clubs have a brick wall to simulate the original improv. That seems to be the universal sign of comedy. But either way, it's a club, and there's people, and there's a microphone, and it won't be improvised. I have stuff prepared. They will all be top shelf stuff.
So the audience doesn't have to worry about you forgetting where you are.
Well, they can worry about that. Yeah, I might forget where I am. But going in, I have a plan.
Now, listen, before I remind everybody where this is on Tatum Boulevard in North Phoenix, I've got to ask you real quickly, everybody that does comedy, I need to know who makes you laugh always, every time you see him or her or read him or her.
My kids make me laugh, and I know it's almost an easy answer, but it just always surprises me. And one of the things that makes me happy is that they're funny. I was talking to some guy, and he said, "Oh, it was a good buddy," and we were having lunch, and he said something like, I'm not usually someone who says something funny. I went, how am I friends with you? How can I be friends with a guy who's not funny? So if my kids had been unfunny, I would have been troubled more than anything else. So I'm happy to report they're really funny.
Paul Reiser will not be working with his family. It's not a family act.
No.
Not this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Now, listen, I want to make sure you get this.
Yes.
The Copper Blues Live Desert Ridge, 21001 North Tatum Boulevard. You don't, look, forget the numbers. It's at Desert Ridge. And
I think they say CB Live, the Copper Blues. I never even heard that till you said it. I just knew it as CB Live. And it's a great venue, I'm told. I have not been there, but I'm looking forward.
Hey,
Saturday and Sunday.
Listen, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to close this by saying something that is absolutely from the heart. I'm mad about you.
Wow, I've never heard that. It's funny because that's also the name of the show.
Back in a moment.